Kayo ay nakikinig sa tunog ng bayan. Aksyon Radyo 819. Ang tunog ng bayan, ang nangunguna sa balita. Balitang pinakamalakas, pinakamaaasahan, pinagkakatiwalaan. Isyo at komentaryo, musika at show. Sa dramas at sa serbisyo publiko. Aksyon Radyo, ang tunog ng bayan, ang nangunguna. Ang tunog ng bayan, Aksyon Radyo 819. Ang nangunguna, ang tunog ng bayan. Kaya't sama-sama tayo sa Aksyon Radyo. Number 1 AM station sa Eastern Visayas.
DYVL, Operation Bulig. Taramdan ang mga kablas. Kablas at sinabuti. Kablas ang hustisya. DYVL, Operation Bulig.
Maupay nga aga, hadidahiton aton mga ka-aksyon. Operation Bulig, itong taramdan nga aton pagsasaruan niya ng mga oras, samtang ika-20 na kita habulan, ito ng Oktubre, 81st year anniversary celebration, ito naton Leyte Gulf Landings. Aton katugbang din engineering, Higlan Margalyo nga Prix Bora, ako naman ni Louie Quebec, ukod naton, hapag paangbit, ito naton din ni serbisyo ha eksakto nga impormasyon, hira Jimmy angay-angay, ayones omang nga sigidman kan Leo Ladan. Oy, maranggat it sirak. Ano? Amo manggo din basta mahumampalit bagyo. Maabat kitahin mapintas nga sirak. Bisan man kumbaga dirigud sugad ka. Ano ba? Clear itaton kalangitan. Ha? May dala gihapon na mga panalagsa nga pangilalan hinin na uuranon. Of course, kay adi naman kita hit katuran. So, salamat sa Diyos. Baga linnabay ini nga bagyo. Bagyo Ramil. Medyo at least diri sugad kadako ano ang damage nga iya ginhatag nganhi hiton naton na mga lugar nga iya hinigin tadpan. Although may daghihapon paper nga siring paman nag experience ito nga kaantusan. But we just hope nga iton mga changes nga gimpapahigayon niya na magdadalan ngadtuhin mas mabakod nga mga kabutangan, baga naaagian kita hin mga sugad hini nga mga eksperyensya hin maraot nga panahon. Oy, kumusta naman ito naton didi mga suki? Largely ito naton didi na pagpaangbit ito naton pag mga reports sa naton Operation Bulig, di kita nakapwesto ito na aton mga ka-aksyon ini nga aktibidad didi MacArthur Shrine. So it mga karigudi-gudigi didi labi na god iton commemorative program aton ito papadangat nga da hiton aton kahanginan. Pero bisan pa man padayong gihap an iba naton nga mga impormasyon para didihiton na paghagos sa naton na bugos nga programa. Mag-update kita hiton na iba-iba nga baga mga detalye gihapon dida hiton na paghagos pagunhan hiton aton Operation Bulig. Kumusta dida itaton mga kapulisan labi na gud iton naka-deploy didi hiton aton na MacArthur Shrine didi lokal nga panggobyernuhan hiton na palo kakulop pa or oo hasta yana aada it ira pagpadangat hiton ira serbisyo nga diin pagsiguro hiton na kamurayaw kahapsay dida hiton lugar kasumpay hini nga aktibidad yana. Amula iton harambang kita pag nasugad ini nga mga aktibidad diri hiya sugad ka pasadiso ini nga dapit ini nga lugar, so diri ka makakaagi dida iton nga kalsada nga tumbok hito naton na shrine ano dida, or at this point in time diri ako sure ano, pero pag agi naton kakulop amon aton dida na sayuran sa maupay kon na manginsayod anay. Itaton didi mga kabugtuan dida hito nga pag traverse hini nga area. Good morning nga dahiton aton mga natuinan ha merkado publiko hiton Tacloban. Ayan. Nakaagi na liwat kita kakulop. Adto no nang adlaw nakaagi liwat kita pastilan. Good man iton aton dida merkado. Ambot aanhon iton mga sistema ba. It aton bagin i-expect in it bare minimum dida ito nga pagpahigayon hiton aton na sugadini nga mga public establishments, public spaces iton malimpyo gad man, ha? It may degree naman lahin hygiene and sanitation. Ano ba? Igon amo nalaba ito nga kada higayon flashing kita. Ano itaton sistema dida hito naton nan pwesto? Ano iton frequency hit aton dida garbage collection? Ano iton na iyo dida igin papahamtang nga mga reglamento hitaton kamalimpyo hiton lugar. Kay pamati ko sering paman Pura Santos nala amo iton kilalan didi Tacloban. It raot it alimyun nga merkado. Labi pa yana kay may man mga pagpaayad, may mga mga ginihimo nagkakamayada hin relocation na duruyla ngan usapa ito nga pamarada para tasagad ninyo ito implementation diri kay kun san ula pwede kun san ula diri manginginano amo nga diri kita nakaka-establish it disiplina bangin amo gihapada ito nano it kabutangan dida hiton pag re-require naton hitaton nan pwesto nga maging tol-tol dida hiton era panag serbisyo. Oo, kun diri ito nakakaya dida taton Office of the Market Superintendent liwani iton. Ha, pasensya na. Kay maihan na ito naton merkado nga sugad dito. Kaya ano ba nga di kita nakaka-establish in disiplina? Ano, na mirror hira iyo. Diri liwat kamo sugad ka disiplinado. Pasensya na, saring ko pa. Pero, amo manggod iton usah ito. Nga angay naton ginkikita. It mga suklanan ba? Itaton merkado, itaton mga ospital. Kung ano hiya kahapsay, ano hiya ka malimpyo, ano hiya ka efficient. Kung diri iton hira tol-tol dida, sugad gihap ito kadiri tol-tol it nagdudumara hiton. Ngan hiton na exercise. And overall, nga baga function, supervisory function nga dahito. No? Okay, maihan na kita hini nga nagiinerestorya, itiragin bubuhat ito dida, malamalala. Diri kita nakaka-instill in disiplina, itaton mga tao dida. Kay ano? Sige. Sering pa, ini nga mga pangidaron, nagpipinangarit na lakita, hin mga higayon nga, diri kita mabubutang, hin mga karatan hapan lawas, ta kay obligado, man kita hini pagkakat sa merkado, once in a while, tas amo pa iti mo uulputan, no? Amo iton nga aton good man ito hiya dida gin naaghat permi. Good morning nga dahin to naton mga natuinan halay ti Normal University labi na. Iton aton dida basic education na system ha. Maupay nga aga hitaton dida mga magturutdo, hitaton dida mga school officials, school administrators. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Bangin na katurog nala kamo ngan pinapatumanan it mga karagsig ngunit pira nga baga diri na hilulugar na nga mga kabutangan. Okay, may dahito reklamo nga naipadangat nga diha aton maupay kun areglaron dayon lagi kay kun nahagos na it ginhuhuna-huna tinutugutan ito papreho hira, di ba? Nga diri gina-attenderan ito na reklamo labi na kun lehitimo it reklamo may mga pamarigon in any setting diri inin dapat pinapalabay. I wonder ang tumeko kung anon ira naging napitad han claim hininira dida mga natuinan nga ginaaligar baga diri nagtutuhay hayton era serbisyo. All these little things aton iton padayon nga pag-aalin sa sonoron. In the meantime, di kami ha. Di dahit pag-unhan ito naton Operation Bulig nga diin it updates ti kang didi. Hiton MacArthur Shrine an amon baga una nga maipapaabot ha iyo dida hinin nga na nga aga hapaghagos ito naton Operation Bulig. Good morning didi kan Jason Duron. Oy, good morning pa ba? Dida iyo Jason. Kamusta kat? Maupay nga pagpamati kan Ana Telana Rangkudo. Pa-shout out po kan Tita Cheng Pineda, Teacher Cecilia Barcelo Salada, ngan kan Mano Paok Mulabola Hanharo latest ring didi ni Ana Telana Rangkudo. Bruno Labok hiton barangay Kantong Tongyabong. Salamat ha. Ngan upod nat yan nga aga hi Oliver Sanyo Omega. Good morning gihapon ha imo and hiton imo dida pamilya. Sige kay para kita ma-update hiton mga developments didi na hiton aton Leyte Landing Memorial. Magpapahinumduman kami madalela. Anaton oras alas 8:45.
This time check is brought to you by Operation Bulig.
Unhan kita, hito nato ang Operation Bulig. Good morning, didakan na manabasyon Lerios. Oo, maupay nga aga manabas. Sagadman, itatan dida mga kasaragabay. Hinubag kaupod mo dida, ada ka ba, habay bayon? Relax, magote, manabasyon. Sige. Of di kami, didihita naton mga detalye. Yan na, katuon naton. Iton mga hitabuhan naton na 81st Leyte Landing Anniversary Celebration. Adi iton report kan Jimmy Angay-Angay.
Aksyon Radio. Patrol Field Report.
Yes, tituwingan mga katangkayan, mga pera na lain ka minutos, matikang natin commemorative program ang 81 anyos nga Litigaw Landing Celebration. Dinitong tema yan Freedom's Prize Honoring the Past, Protecting the Future. Halaga ng kalayaan, kumbaga Tagalog, parangal sa nakaraan, pag-iingat sa kinabukasan. Waray-waray, importante iwasan, sinungughan nakalabay ng pag-ikmat kapubuwason. Doon sinala ining mga nabubuhing World War II veteran, katangkay nga na si Louis, diin tululay ito nakatimdarin ni Dini, kay itidadid pa nini, pinaka-abobot edad, 99 anyos, pinakainidaran, 103, duhain, tag-10 anyos, taga-Palolete. Pero no pa yung nabubuhay ni, yan ang World War II veteran. Era Cornelio Gandia Dacono, Halawan Eastern Sam, Priscilla Rivera Ailon, Hanggiwan Eastern Samar, Benito Lawson, Yepes, Tanawan Leyte, Eleuteria Basa, Kabakongan ng Tanawan, Gregoria Igapahe, Badio Han Borwin, Bonifacio Herbuso Kanya Senior Han Aboyog Leyte. Supilo Kanyeti at Vincula Pampalo Leyte. Amin ang tagsinyanyos. Nga Josipa Casar Pestillo ang Palampon Leyte. Veteran Paula Chocolin ang Calbiga Samar. Norbato Veteran Daiserio Abukay Avila, Borongan City, Eastern Samar. Eugenia Muli Maglinti, Ron Southern Leyte. Supilo Sanchez Nuevo, Ormoc City. Yan, nga itong pag-abot pala yan ang guest of honor ni Asik Domingo Carbonil Jr., Hampibaw, Deputy Administrator for Operation. May itong guest yan representative Ate Louie, ng makayan ni Pangulo Bongbong Marcos, kay Warman Makanhi, bali Assistant Secretary Domingo C. Carbonel Jr., Pibaw Deputy Administrator for Operation, may itong bisita. Yan na nakaready na itong pag-isa bandera. Okay, matikang na commemorative program alas 9. Mapiton makakuha kitang video. Makuri kasi itong internet providers nga para makita natin itong inbubuhat itong pagtikang programa. So flag racing na ini. Flag racing patikang ang relaying ceremony, arrival honors. Pamatihan tanalugod siguro pagtikang na tiluwi didi. Taon tatodso kung baga okay didi. Pagtikang itong commemorative program, facing kami didi itong monumento ni General Douglas MacArthur. Itong veterano, didi tatubangan. So natigang na itong pag-racing. Manay ni rival flag racing ni Ginisan bandera Pilipinas di atubangan iton Asik and Pivaw Assistant Secretary Domingo nga siyempre ang mga pinaglawas sa 8th Infantry Division ang Philippine Army and Philippine National Police. Dito ang provincial government ng Leyte, pinagikan Leyte Governor Petilla, and iba pang opisyal ang provincial government ng Leyte. So flag racing flag racing. May human an arrival honor. Masunod,
We shall now raise the
iba
flag of the countries above countries.
country na iba-ibang nasod. Dito ang Australia, and Japan, US. Kaya po nila mo ito flag racing na yan ng mga oras. At ginuulat tayo nitong flag racing relaying. Ibalotan bandera. Giniisa yan na. So itong panahon din, pingit, bisang kon baga alas 9 na itong, alas 9 pala itong oras. Pero hindi nga flag ay re-race. Ukta, duha, tolo, 4, 5, 6. Umanang ka ng bandera ng Pilipinas. So di ba ka nagsasayop? Bandera ini Australia ba ini? Sige ba kaya amin eh. Katima, right side ini yan ang isa. Yan ang oras. So dito itong bisita gihapon dito mga kasangkayan. Kita mga tikang haipang partihan nasod. Ambassador extraordinary potential kang embassy ng Australia. Amato ginis. Yan na lang itong Japan liwat itong bandera. Sa bisita dito kang Australia. Kay Mark Inis Brown. Amatong bisita. Katima. Ito iba pa din ang bisita. Ikang siyempre, Lieutenant General Jaime de los Santos, then Chairman, Board of Trustees and Veterans of World War II, Major General Romeo Alamillo, Returning National President, ang Veterans Federation of the Federation of Philippines, siyempre adera Pure Remedios Martin Petilla. Itong solidarity greetings welcome remarks si Mayor Martin Petilla. Solidarity greetings si Major General Romeo Lamillo, National President, Veterans Federation of the Philippines, Lieutenant General Jaime de los Santos, Chairman and Board of Trustees, Veterans and World War II. Maghatag ang mensahe His Excellency Mark Inis Brown, Ambassador Extraordinary, Plenipotentiary, Embassy Australia, hindi hatag naman anniversary message si Honorable Carlos Perez Il Petilla. And production ng Guest of Honor, Honorable Leonardo Javier Jr. and Vice Governor of Province of Leyte, commemorative message si Asik Domingo Carbonil Jr., Deputy Administrator for Operations and Philippine Veterans Affairs Office,
to honor the memory of our fathers.
and na-represent representara kan Yusik Rinaldo Mapagop, Administrator part for Australia Master Leading ngan relaying na yan relaying na ini sabaringan kita relaying maghalat inin ngadto monumento ni General Douglas MacArthur may inadal nga bukad pinangunahan naton guest of honor and mga official provincial government and lady. So amo taging kabutangan ni Ilawit. Dapat sir para nato ng guest dili. Kita nakita dili Australia man dili nato nakita nga program. Tanda may tagad siya pa nga magayakan man ito niyan. Pero natakita din ang program ang taga Australia na dili. Sigurado ako may din tagad siya pan inin representative. No? Kaya nato may tapay na iba. Bisita Didi Kera so amla to ikaw Ronnie ang kitaon nato nini kung ano iton agiging sitwasyon siguro iyan na badilat may ha iton replaying pagbalik amo na ni matikang na programa at ilo siguro balikan na aton pagbalik haman replaying kay may mga mensahe na papadangat didi arigap tagkaw sa Yunis o mga diliuladan siguro pagbalik ang mga pagtikang natong programa ini nga ika-81 anyos nga legal planting. Balik ko lang nga day mo Ate Louie. Normal mabalik ito pagtikang that program. Replaying na yan
Operation Bulig.
Mamadaming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mamadaming time, Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na!
Sa Champion Quick Wash Technology, less time sa lavada, more time sa pamilya.
Need extra budget fast? Mabilis, mabilis, mabilis,
Magpayong.
Hindi naman din.
Ito po man Diyos ko, Lord. Pumasadas na Mayor Danilo Lirios, Kapitan Danilo Lirios, Barangay Captain. Kanang paninilita na. Gamay, hinalaro kita okro. Sa tiniro ka.
Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, escorted by Colonel Rico O. Amaro, JSC Infantry, Acting Commander 802nd Peerless Brigade of the 8th Infantry Division, Philippine Army.
DYVL Operation Bulig.
Balik kita ngan pamatian naton iton igpapaabot naman haaton nga detalye ni Ayones Omang.
Aksyon Radio. Patrol. Field Report.
Alright, Atilo Kasangkayan, eksakto alas 8:48 nagatikang ito na program dito, pero yan ang mga takna, nagkakaada ring ceremony, anak dito ito kinikilip MacArthur Shrine, na ito nasa Australia, Japan, Canada, sa US, nga ito New Zealand, o po na ito Pilipinas. So katapos pala itong rate-laying activity, nga ang katapos ang naghalad hin rate amo ang Undersecretary Han Pibaw, Undersecretary Domingo Carbonel, nga gudiin upod gyapon nga naghalad hin rate amo gyapon ni Governor Carlos Jericho ikot Pitilia. So yan na nagkakaada yan na iton honoring didahiton nagkakaada na yung pagkatagya po rin Kataloran, TAPS, binabati yung kasangkayan in honor, hanaton mga World War II veterans nga nag-ula haton era kanabuhi para la itong katalwasan, itong kabugusan itong Eastern Visayas region. So kahuman hini nga rate-laying ceremony, hanaton mga bisita kasangkayan, mabaling ito stage para ng commemorative program. Itong sitwasyon didi tilo kasangkayan para itong ato mga kabugtuan, itong stage na naatubang itong flagpole atubangan dito National Shrine, then and left side liwat, left and right adilot iton inin mga dagkong tent, may left side adi ang kanan mga mayors, sa left side aton mga World War II veterans. yan ang nagkakadahin 21 gun salute. Kung binabati niyo, 21 gun salute, paghatagil niya po ni pagsaludo, aton mga World War II veterans. Masyado ka stricto ito na security din, baga makuri pagdaop na ito stage. At mga mayors, sa may left side naton, kinikita pero nag-aaron ng plaso ng yan na baga mahatagin na inin na kasayuran. Amin sa para gyapon ito eram patasatag sa nga inimbungto nga inin ginatikangan. For the meantime, Atilo, amon itong sitwasyon din, maupay itong panahon, masarak-sarakan, ito bang mabisita nga rin pagdarampayong, kaya para, ngayon tubig po para di rin ma-dehydrate. Ay balik ko na, Broadcast Center.
Operation Bulig.
Ang kinis na niya.
In fairness, nag-glow up. May budget.
So solid. White rose pa.
Kalpanan. Rap sa kaliwa. Rap. Sulong. Kad.
May we request our guest of honor, the distinguished guest, to proceed to the monument for the photo ops.
Kalpanan. Sulong. Kad. Tanghal. Ta! Kalpanan. Bukay kamay. Na. Kalpanan. Tapak kamay. Na. Baba. Ta. Gino, tapos na po ang pag-alay.
We now proceed to the shrine proper, the monument for the pictorial.
Harap sa labas!
Ti Louis na kasangkayan inin nakabalik na nga di Steve sa nato na mga bisita ti kandidahan Red Fleeing again buhat Monument Shrine ni General Douglas MacArthur. So didi mati kang nataan tong commemorative program kung nakikita man naton dito ni States sa Louis may ada mga foreign dignitaries di yan ang mga oras kita tadi di ang taga Australia may dapat taga Japan tao na itong pinili ko pagkanangila na tera nawong pero sigurado taga Australia tadi yan na kan ang mga World War II veteran natin tululan na katinder ini sa kupan o si Timano matika program
and the people of the Republic of the Philippines. Welcome to the 81st commemorative program of the Leyte Gulf Landings, also known locally as Liberation Day. Today, we gather once again in the National Shrine of Remembrance, the MacArthur Landing Memorial National Park, erected on the shores of Red Beach, Leyte, as we pay tribute to the men and women who participated in the historic landings that paved the way to the eventual liberation of our country. The activities today will leave an indelible mark in our minds and hearts, as this may be the last time that we are going to pay tribute to the last 12 veterans of the Second World War. It is of paramount importance for us to be able to pay tribute to our countrymen in all parts of the Philippines for their singular heroism and sacrifices they made, so that today we all live in peace and harmony in a free new world. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation to be led by Reverend Monsignor Gilbert Urbina, the Vicar General of the Archdiocese of Salog.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of God. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord God, we stand before you, have gifted us with wonderful talents and manifold resources for the welfare and freedom of people and the good of each one of us. As we gather once again for the anniversary of the Leyte Gulf Landing, you remind us of its significance in our search for true freedom and lasting peace and prosperity in our land and throughout the whole world. We remember our heroes and pay tribute to them, persons who have sacrificed their lives for truth, justice, and peace for all. They continue to inspire us, and we never fail to honor them and draw lessons from their experiences and witness. In honoring our heroes, we cannot but turn our attention to the victims and the plight of victims of all conflicts and wars throughout the world, and you continue to cry, never again, no more wars, as we acknowledge the root causes of most, if not all, the conflicts confronting us in this world. We ask for pardon for our untamed greed and unbridled ambitions, which cause harm not just to our land, but most of all to many peoples entrusted to our care. We say no to the corruption which has plagued many nations as well as ours, a scourge which has even more victimized until our times many survivors of conflicts and wars who continue to remain poor and in need of our help. And before you, we acknowledge our individual and collective duty in purging the root causes of conflicts in this world, especially especially injustices and unequal opportunities. As we renew again and again our resolve to end it as we commemorate the liberation of Leyte and the Philippines 81 years ago. May our dreams and plans for a better future for us all be in accordance to your plans. As we thank you for your presence and your reminders, continue to pour your blessings and graces upon us. Bless this event and this gathering. May this continue to inspire us, especially our, so that they may carry on the dreams and plans we have failed to realize in our time. All for your greater glory and honor. Amen.
Monsignor Gilbert Orbina.
Please take your seats.
So,
Hold on, the Honorable Remedios Alcatilla, Mayor of the...
Please take your seats. May I call on the Honorable Remedios L. Petilla, Mayor of the Municipality of Palo, for her welcome remarks.
On behalf of USEC Reynaldo B. Mapago of the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, ASIC Domingo C. Carbonell Jr., Deputy Administrator for Operations. On behalf of His Excellency Endo Kazuya of the Embassy of Japan, Minister Ono Sho, Charge d'Affaires. Hasigawa Mika, Third Secretary, Embassy of Japan. His Excellency Mark Innes Brown of the Embassy of Australia. Ms. Joanna Stratton, Counselor for Political and Public Diplomacy, Embassy of Australia. Lieutenant Colonel Noel Yo Ong, Assistant Defense Attaché, Embassy of Australia. Major Lachlan Newham, Enhanced Defense Cooperation Program Manager, Embassy of Australia. Da Vinci Maru, Public Diplomacy and Alumni Engagement Officer, Embassy of Australia. The Honorable Carlos Jericho Icot L. Pitilla, Governor of the Province of Leyte. Honorable Francis Ann B. Pitilla, former Mayor of the Municipality of Palo. Reverend Monsignor Gilbert Urbina, Vicar General, Archdiocese of Palo. Major General Romeo D. Alamilio, PFA retired, National President, Veterans Federation of the Philippines. Lieutenant General Jaime S. de los Santos, AFP retired, Chairman, CEO, Board of Trustees of the Veterans of World War II, represented by Persianita Racho, Vice Chairperson. Sons and daughters, represented by General Cabides. All veteran delegations and other heads of related organizations, all government officials of the province of Leyte, board members, mayors, vice mayors, and Sangguniang Bayan members, regional and provincial line agencies, heads, and representatives, SB members of Palo, headed by Vice Mayor Giorgio Chiquilio, all guests and visitors and our dear veterans. Maupay nga aga, aton nga tanan. It is with great humility and profound gratitude that we are all here today to welcome each and every one of you to the 81st Leyte Gulf Landings Anniversary Commemorative Program. Today we gather bound together by the shared history that has shaped our present and continues to guide our future. As we reflect on the theme of this year's commemoration, we are reminded of the extraordinary services and sacrifices made by countless brave souls who fought valiantly during the Leyte Gulf landings. It was here in these very waters that the tides of history began to shift, marking a pivotal moment in the liberation of our nation, the beginning of the end of World War II. As we honor the past, we also recognize the importance of protecting our future, as the world we live in today is shaped by the lessons learned from history. Together, we gather not just to remember, but to renew our commitment to the principles that define our nation. As we proceed with today's program, let us carry with us the memories of those we honor. Let us remember the faces of those who fought bravely and those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Let us remember that freedom is not merely a word, but a profound truth that must be defended and cherished. In closing, I invite you all to reflect on the theme of this year's commemoration. Freedom's price may be high, but it is a cost well worth sacrificing, well worth dying for. Let us honor the past by living lives of purpose and integrity. Let us protect our future by ensuring that the lessons learned from history are never forgotten. Together, we can forge a path that honors the bravery of our past while building a future filled with hope and promise and progress. Thank you very much. Welcome to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now listen to the messages of solidarity from our visiting dignitaries. First, may I call on Lieutenant General Jaime S. de los Santos, AFP retired, Chairman, Board of Trustees, Veterans of World War II.
Honor the lesson of the past and look forward to the new beginning with hope. This is the gist of the theme for today. My respect to Honorable Governor Jericho Petilla, sir. Our guest of honor, Assistant Secretary for PIBAO, Honorable Domingo Carbonell, sir. My fellow sons and daughters, sa mga tatay na ako nga veterano o nanay nga veterana, other dignitaries, mayors of the province of Leyte, government officials, sa tanang mga katawhan dinhi sa Leyte, maayong buntag kanatong tanan. maupay nga aga sa inyong tanan. Today, we honor the historic landing, as always, of Leyte. This is the 81st. And we are given the chance to celebrate it with gratitude in our hearts, to honor the past and remember the sacrifices of our veteran heroes. I was here 31 years ago. I was then an observer of the 50th Leyte landing. Mayor Remedios Petilla was then the governor at that time. I was with our veteran sons and daughters, and I was with our veteran parents, heading the way from the regions of Region 9 or the whole of Mindanao. That was a very momentous event, I would say, and seeing our veteran heroes today, I could always remember their heroism and the sacrifices they had for our country. I feel the other sons and daughters. Huwag na kayong magtanong kung ilang taon na rin kami. Basta, sons and daughters pa rin kami. We always have that legacy. We will carry on the legacy of our parents. We will carry on the legacy of our veteran heroes of World War II. My veterans family has been with us for quite so long. And I would like to borrow the language yesterday of then Mayor of Palu Leyte, the lovely wife of Governor Petilla, that we should not forget the memories of Leyte landing. And why is it that everybody, some of her friends, and even last night, Governor Petilla also mentioned that bakit kailangang i-celebrate ang Leyte landing. Because all throughout, this has been celebrated. As I said, I was here 31 years ago. So my dear veterans, my dear Generation Z, do not forget the past. We move on to the future with dignity, with heroism, and let our veteran heroes and God lead our way. Move on, and this is our challenge. Thank you, and good morning to everyone.
Attorney Brian James Cuevas, Chief Veterans Affairs Management Division, PVAO. Major General Romeo D. Alamillo, retired, National President, Veterans Federation of the Philippines.
May I acknowledge the guest of honor and speaker who will be introduced later. May I also acknowledge the people of Leyte, represented by the Honorable Carlos Jericho Petilla, sir. The living World War II veterans, our honoree for today, the 12 last survivors of the Great War. Thank you for being present. With your indulgence, I will no longer mention the other very important personalities, for they have been acknowledged by the Honorable Mayor Medios Pitilla earlier. So, my task this morning is to deliver a solidarity message for the veterans. And of course, para po sa lahat, everyone else. So, at the onset, what is solidarity? It is exemplified this morning by the 7 flags raised in front of us on the international level. Solidarity among the veterans of Eastern Visayas, especially that of the province of Leyte, is exemplified by the attendance today of some 800 veterans. We were expecting 500 as of yesterday. This morning, we recorded 800. No mere feat is considering the threats of rain that Typhoon Ramil is bringing. But this morning, we're all blessed to enjoy fair weather. We at the Veterans Federation of the Philippines would like to take this opportunity to share with the veterans of Eastern Visayas, in a nutshell, what has been accomplished in the past year of 2024. Currently, the Federation has 1,258 supervised member organizations with some 99,921 member veterans. The year 2024 saw remarkable growth in the number of veterans organizations, and last year we were able to welcome into our folds 12,000 new recruits. This exceeded by 35% the targeted 9,000 additional veterans for CY24. Of the about 270,000 veterans and surviving spouses, only 37% are integrated into the different affiliated member organizations of the BFP. In fact, only 50% of the old age PBAO pensioners are integrated members of the BFP. The Veterans Federation of the Philippines motto is veterans need to be cared for and remembered. On the caring, by its constitution and bylaws, one of the Federation's aims is to complement the constitutional mandate for the state to provide immediate and adequate care, benefits, and other forms of assistance to our veterans and veterans of other military campaigns, their surviving spouses and orphans. Thus, the Federation augments certain non-pension benefits provided by PBAO and provides limited health care benefits and assistance to its member veterans. In addition to the Medicare provided by the Veterans Memorial Medical Center, the BFP likewise provides centenarian cash gift, calamity assistance, expanded cash benefits to living veterans of World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War, over and above similar benefits provided by the Department of Social Welfare and Development. This year, the Interim Supreme Council, the governing body of the BFP, approved for implementation effective 1 July 2025 the following: the grant of increase in wake assistance from 10,000 to 20,000 for the family of a deceased veteran member and 10,000 for the family of a deceased surviving spouse member, and increase the one-time financial assistance from 5,000 to 20,000 for fiscal year 2025 only to living senior veterans and the senior veterans of World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War. If anyone among us knows living senior veterans, definitely the 12 honorees for this morning are qualified because they are still living. In your localities, kindly share the information immediately with them. And for the regional assistance of the Veterans Federation of the Philippines in Eastern Visayas, to assist in the filing of claims for the assistance as there are less than 3 months remaining in 2025 to file the claim. The cash benefits and assistance given to veterans in fiscal year 2024 at 40 million were 38% or 11 million more than the amount provided to fiscal year 2023 beneficiaries. The value in kind benefits given to veterans in fiscal year 2024 at 26 million was significantly higher at almost 400% or 21 million than the amount given to fiscal year 2023 beneficiaries. On remembering, the BFP has lined up projects for the repair, renovation, and maintenance of markers and monuments in cooperation with the local government units concerned. Here in Leyte, the BFP Region 8 building, a landmark for the veterans by itself, has been inaugurated and blessed yesterday. The BFP plans to establish a mini museum at the second floor to perpetuate and memorialize the heroism of World War II veterans from Region 8 or Eastern Visayas. A pocket park will also be constructed in front of the building as a memorial to Ruperto Canglion. If there is anyone among you who is a relative of the hero of Leyte or knew a relative of Ruperto Canglion, kindly send the message that the BFP would like to link with them to discuss the project. The LGU of Leyte, through the governor, thank you, sir, has indicated, I don't know if this is presumptive, sir, its favorable consideration of donating an area at the government center for the establishment by the BFP of a Veterans Park. The concept for the Veterans Park is undergoing finalization and will soon be provided to the Office of the Governor. Lastly, I extend the invitation on behalf of our partner, the Veterans Bank. Nandun po sila. For everyone to visit the War of Our Fathers display at the BFP Region 8 building at the Government Center. Malapit lang po yun dito. The display will run for 2 weeks from yesterday to November 2. Entrance is free, libre po. Finally, let me make this clarion call. Let us unite as one nation with gratitude for our past and steadfast dedication to our future. Together, we can overcome any challenge and achieve greatness. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang Leyte, mabuhay ang mga veterano. Maraming salamat po.
His Excellency Mark Innes Brown, Ambassador Plenipotentiary and Extraordinary of Australia.
First and foremost, I wanted to pay tribute to the 12 living veterans here with us today. We honour your service. Assistant Secretary Carbonell, Governor Petilla, Vice Governor Javier, Mayor of Palo Petilla, other excellencies, and of course, and also most importantly, the people of Leyte. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. It is my honour and privilege to be here this morning to represent the people of Australia and in particular the descendants of the veterans for the 81st Leyte Golf Landing anniversary. We gather on this solemn occasion to offer our deep respect and to acknowledge the courage and sacrifice of those who fought so bravely in these seas, in the skies above, and on this land to contribute to the liberation of the Philippines 81 years ago. This day marks a critical juncture in Filipino history, a day where the Filipino people, with the assistance of close friends, once again triumphed in the face of adversity. In February 1942, General Douglas MacArthur made his way from the Philippines to Australia to organise the American offensive against Japan, a primary objective of which was the relief of the Philippines. And on the 20th of March, in the small South Australian town of Tarawi, he uttered the immortal words that defined his focus for the remainder of the war. I came through and I shall return. General MacArthur formally assumed command of the Australian Armed Forces on the 18th of April 1942, a force that included 100,000 members of the 2nd Australian Imperial Force, 265,000 Australian militia and 38,000 Americans. It was 2.5 years later, following heavy fighting across the Pacific by Australian, American and other Allied forces, before he was able to make good on his promise. When General MacArthur was finally able to return to the Philippines in 1944, he came ashore in the company of Australian Defence Force personnel. For Australia, this anniversary speaks the enduring friendship that Australia and the Philippines share, both in good times and in bad. We stood shoulder to shoulder, flew, sailed and fought alongside our Philippine comrades 81 years ago, just as we did over 10 years ago in the months after Typhoon Yolanda, and just as we are working closely together now to help assure Philippine security and sovereignty. Few people today will be aware of the extent and diversity of Australia's contribution to the Liberation Campaign, from the escaped Australian prisoners who fought alongside Filipino guerrillas, through to the Australian warships HMAS Australia and Shropshire that endured the terrifying ordeal of kamikaze attacks, and the Royal Australian Air Force Catalina aircraft that laid mines at the entrance of Manila Bay. The newly relocated Australian Memorial at the entrance to MacArthur Park is a testament to this effort and records the names of our fallen alongside the names of the units that commanded the more than 4,000 Australian service personnel who participated in the liberation of the Philippines. As we gather here today, I am proud to recognise the rich history of Australia in the Philippines, which includes the service of Australian civilians during the liberation of the Philippines, specifically those who served the Australian Merchant Navy and the US Army's Small Ships Section, and we also honour the memory of Australian civilians interned in the Philippines. Today we also honour those veterans and families of those who fought and died in the Leyte campaign. We are humbly grateful for your service. To the local government of Leyte and the mayors and people of Tacloban and Palo, thank you for your generous hospitality and for your continued remembrance you give annually to your nation's heroes and veterans and to those who fought alongside you to liberate the Philippines.
For the people of Japan, Minister Onosho, Deputy Chief of Mission, Embassy of Japan.
Honorable Carlos Herco Petilla, Governor of Leyte. Honorable Remedios Petilla, Mayor of Palo Leyte. Assistant Secretary Domingo Carbonell, Deputy Administrator of Philippine Veterans Affairs Office. Major General Romeo Alamilo, National President of the Veterans Federation of the Philippines. Members from Board of Trustees of the Veterans of World War II. His Excellency Mark Insbrand, Austrian Embassy. Esteemed Filipino veterans, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It is my profound honor to join you all today to commemorate the 81st Leyte Gulf landings. Standing here today, we are reminded of the courage it took and of the immeasurable loss endured in the pursuit of peace. Holding in the highest regard to those who have fallen, their families and loved ones, we remember with utmost reverence those who made the ultimate sacrifice. To the Filipino veterans who steadfastly served the nation, your act of bravery is a timeless gift for the past, present, and future generations. Your sacrifice gave rise to the peace, stability, and dignity that the nation proudly upholds today. It is through the magnanimity and benevolence of the Filipino people that we walk a shared path that strengthens our future-oriented partnership. We, the Japanese people, hold this profound act of grace deep within our hearts as a lasting reminder of the enduring strength of compassion. 80 years have passed since the end of World War II, and we have drawn lessons from the war and have reaffirmed our commitment to preventing such tragedies from ever happening again. Over the past 8 decades, Japan and the Philippines have transformed a painful chapter into a friendship built on mutual trust and grounded in shared values. As we approach the 70th anniversary of the normalization of our diplomatic relations next year, Japan stands more committed than ever to elevating our partnership to even greater heights. What once began as a journey of reconciliation has now flourished into a vibrant relationship, one that has matured, strengthened, and deepened across generations. Today, the partnership between Japan and the Philippines has never been stronger. Together, we are broadening our cooperation across vital areas: economic development, security, people-to-people ties, maritime cooperation, and cultural exchange. Such cooperation is rooted throughout the Philippines. Here in Leyte, the San Juanico Bridge, constructed in 1973 as part of the Philippine-Japan Friendship Highway Project, stands as a lasting symbol of our partnership. Today, the preparatory study is underway for the construction of a second San Juanico Bridge. I'm delighted to see how quality infrastructure supported through Japan's official development assistance continues to drive regional connectivity and economic growth. I'm deeply saddened by the reports of significant damage across central Philippines due to the recent earthquake off the coast of Cebu. In response, Japan provided emergency relief supplies including tents, blankets, plastic sheets, sleeping pads, polytanks, water purifiers to the Philippine government to assist people affected by the earthquake. Japanese self-defense forces recently conducted an airlift of relief supplies from right here in Tacloban, Leyte, to Cebu during the Japan-Philippines joint exercise. Japan-Philippines partnership has now grown far beyond the bilateral sphere to encompass multilateral initiatives. Alongside our friends and allies, the United States and Australia, and other like-minded countries, Japan and the Philippines now stand as pillars of a free and open Indo-Pacific. We now work hand in hand to safeguard peace, uphold the rule of law, and promote prosperity and stability across the region. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, the world once again stands at crossroads. Conflict and division threaten the very foundation of the international order we have long protected. In these uncertain times, history reminds us that peace is never given. The peace is built, protected, and sustained through courage, compassion, and cooperation. With the memory of our shared history guiding us, Japan holds an unshakable commitment to peace. We will continue to stand with the Philippines in promoting regional stability and ensuring that the sacrifices of our forebears will never be forgotten. Let this commemoration be a reaffirmation of purpose, that our nations, once divided, now walk united on a path of peace and mutual respect. Let us continue to honor the past by building a future worthy of their sacrifice, a future where our people thrive together, our nations stand as one, and the light of peace never fades from our shores. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang pagkakaibigan na Japan at Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang kapayapaan. Thank you very much.
Good
let us listen to the rendition of the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, to be sung by the Tolosa Grand Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, the anniversary message of Honorable Carlos Jericho L. Petilla, Governor, Province of Leyte.
Monsignor Gilbert Orbina, my long-term neighbor, ASEC Domingo Carbonell, Major General Romeo Alamilio, His Excellency Mark Inez Brown of the Embassy of Australia, Minister Ono Shono, General Jaime de los Santos, RD Jason Capoy, I saw him earlier, Colonel Rico Amaro, Joel Joseph Cabidis of the BFP, Mayor Martin Pitilia, to all the board members, to the mayors, department heads, the national agencies, to the veterans, again, guests and visitors, a pleasant good morning to all of us. Good morning. We gather once again on this sacred ground where history itself turned its tide, where valor met destiny, and where freedom reclaimed its rightful place. 81 years ago, the shores of Leyte bore witness to one of the most decisive moments in human history: the return of the liberty of our land through the courage and sacrifice of countless heroes, both Filipinos and allied forces alike. Today, as we commemorate the 81st Leyte Gulf Landings anniversary, we do so with deep reverence and gratitude. The theme, Freedom Prize, honoring the past, protecting the future, reminds us that freedom was never free. It was bought with blood, sacrifice, and unfaltering resolve. And it is our solemn duty to safeguard that hard-earned freedom for the generations that will come after us. Last year, we never seemed to run out of wars. Last year, our guest of honor was Secretary Gilbert Chudoro, and he talked about our problem in the West Philippine Sea. Today, we have another war. We are faced with a new kind of war. The uncontrollable flood control fund scam. That is so much publicized now, and the extent of the scandal is staggering, appalling, and to some extent embarrassing. The reputation of the government is tarnished, and the confidence of the people on their government has been significantly eroded. You know, people sometimes ask, Governor, do you have flood control fund? I said, I do not. Why? Let me give you a little bit of perspective. We have 81 governors, almost 1,500 mayors, and about 90,000 barangays in the entire Philippines. Those 81 governors have board members. The mayors have councilors. We have employees, thousands of them. And then the barangays, they're all over. They all have problems. In the national budget of 2025, 6.3 trillion is the budget. The budget of the entire local government unit, all the 81 governors, all the 1,500 mayors, all the 90,000 barangays, our budget is about 1 trillion. And the budget of DPWH is also 1 trillion. Can you imagine? And then we get to do all the work, and we're expected to do all the work. The question that lingers to most people, not only the locals, but even amongst the diplomatic corps, the question is, will we, the Filipino people, get justice? Are people going to be punished and sanctioned? We commemorate the Leyte Gulf landings if only to remind us that war should be avoided and should never happen again. The Leyte Gulf landing was the biggest naval war in the history of the world. It is our hope that there will never be another war bigger than the Leyte Gulf landings. We Litanians will never get tired of commemorating this date, if only to remind us that we should never have another great war. In the case of the flood control scam, it is also our fervent hope, and we pray to God that the sanctions will be put in place. Otherwise, it will happen again. And just like any war, it should never happen again. If they go unpunished, our forefathers who fought and died 81 years ago in this land where we are standing right now would probably rise from their grave, if only to tell us, are you worth dying for? With all the sacrifices they did, are we really worth dying for? Now, the LGUs, we have to do our own little way if we are to avoid further war and corruption. In the province of Leyte, we have been meeting for the past 4 weeks. What can we do? Because we cannot be just standing by. And we decided, at least in the province of Leyte, that to prevent similar scams that have happened in the national level, we have implemented in all our infra projects the time-lapse system. And this actually basically is applicable to all our infra projects. In other words, we're not saying there's corruption that's going on right now in the local level, but why wait? We implement the time-lapse to make sure that we review every project that we have down to the last inch. The time-lapse that you're seeing in the screen right now are actually going to be submitted to us on a daily basis. It will be uploaded. Our engineers will review them, and as we speak right now, we're actually coming up with an artificial intelligence to detect if the specs of the project is actually being implemented. In this case, we will avoid substandard and we will avoid ghost projects because the amount that has been actually stolen is so big that it can go to the veterans, it can go to health, it can go to education, it can go to a lot of things. So it's an unforgivable crime, and we should never allow it to happen again. The national government is embattled. It's time for local government to step up and help in any way we can. As we look toward the future, may this commemoration not only serve as a remembrance, but also as renewal. A renewal of our collective pledge to keep Leyte and the Philippines strong, united, and free. Let us continue to build a province and a nation that our heroes would be proud of. One that values peace, progress, and the dignity of every Filipino. In honoring the past, let us protect our future. With faith in our people, hope in our destiny, and love for our country. Mabuhay ang Leyte, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Maupay nga aga haton nga tanan.
Thank you, Governor. To introduce our guest of honor, may I request the Honorable Carlo P. Loreto, Board Member and former Vice Governor of Leyte, to do the honors.
Your Honors, Your Excellencies, good morning. Our guest of honor is a man who has served our nation with courage, integrity, and an enduring sense of duty. A retired Lieutenant Colonel of the Philippine Army, he rendered 21 years of exemplary service in the armed forces of the Philippines, where he distinguished himself in the fields of intelligence, security, and logistics. He has served as head of the Foreign Liaison Division and other key units under the Office of the Deputy Chief of Staff for Intelligence, and as a tactical officer at the Philippine Military Academy, guiding future officers of our armed forces. After his military career, he continued his service to the Filipino people through the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, where he managed vital infrastructure supporting our nation's urban development efforts. A recipient of the Military Merit Medal and numerous commendations, he remains a proud example of leadership, discipline, and public service. Your Excellency, Your Honors, please join me in welcoming and honoring our guest of honor, Assistant Secretary Domingo Castro Carbonell Jr., Philippine Army retired.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Counselor. Allow me to greet our gracious host this morning, Governor Carlos Jericho Petilla, sir, and his lovely wife, Frances Ann Petilla, ma'am. His Excellency Mark Miles Brown of the Australian Embassy, His Excellency Shaw of the Japanese Embassy, Veteran Parisiana Radyo, representing Lieutenant General De Los Santos, Madam Remedios Petilla, ma'am, Mayor of Palo Leyte, Sir Romeo Alamillo, National Chairman of the Veterans Federation of the Philippines, Father Monsignor Olvina, other distinguished guests, the Chairman of the Philippine Veterans Bank, Emmanuel Herbosa, sir. Good morning. Today we gather here on the hallowed grounds of Leyte to honor one of the most decisive moments in Philippine and world history, the 81st anniversary of Leyte Gulf landing on October 20, 1944. The Allied forces landed on these very shores, led by General Douglas MacArthur, who fulfilled the solemn promise when he said, "I shall return." Alongside with him were thousands of Filipino soldiers who fought bravely to reclaim our freedom and our dignity. The Battle of Leyte Gulf, considered as the largest naval battle in history, marked the beginning of the liberation of the Philippines during the Second World War. It was a moment that demonstrated the unwavering courage of the Filipino people, their resilience in the face of suffering, and their unremarkable faith in the future of our nation. As we commemorate this historic event and remember the battles fought and the sacrifices made, we, as a gesture from a grateful generation, reaffirm our gratitude to the men and women who gave their lives so that we may have the priceless commodity of freedom that not all peoples and nations enjoy today. Let us also pay tribute to the people of Leyte, whose cooperation, sacrifices, and enduring courage became vital to the success of the liberation campaign. The spirit of unity that emerged from these difficult times remains a guiding light for our nation today. In this time of challenges and uncertain era, when we need new friendships and strengthen our alliances to maintain regional peace, let us continue to draw inspiration from the legacy of our veterans. Let us honor their memory not only through ceremonies and monuments, but through our daily commitment to uphold the values of democracy, justice, and service to others. To our remaining veterans, our living heroes, we extend our deepest gratitude for your audacity, gallantry, and patriotism. We proudly recognize and honor our living World War II veterans residing in this province. Allow me to name the veterans: Cornelio Gandia Dacumo, Priscilla Rivera Ailon, Loreto Labson Niepes, Leuteria Basas Kabakungan, Gregoria Equipaje Badeo, Bonifacio Herboso Ocana Sr., Teofilo Cañete Advíncula, Josefa Casar Festejo, Paula Choco Lim, Glicerio Abucay Avila, Eugenia Miole Maglinte, and Teofilo Sanchez Nuevo. We thank you for your selfless service and dedication to the nation. You are the living testaments of Filipino heroism and the true embodiment of love of country. Mabuhay ang mga veterano, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Salamat po.
The Governor, Carlos Jericho L. Petilla, shall now offer the 81st Leyte Golf Landings commemorative token of appreciation for the 81st Leyte Golf Landings 1944 to 2025 at Reed Beach, Palo, Leyte, to our guest of honor from the people of the province of Leyte. It states, in celebration of the 81st Leyte Golf Landings, homegrown multi-awarded artist Dante Inahe created original paintings using fermented coconut wine or tuba as pigments. Thank you very much, our guest of honor and Governor Petilla. To formally end the commemorative program, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the Leyte hymn.
The ones the world has known, the province we love and call our own. We Litanians have fought and died for you. Freedom since then has seen us through. The beauty that we see today shines in every way. Rich in love, resources and fame, forever you will stay the same. We make the world know, let our spirit glow, that you're the place to be, the province of Leyte. We make the world know that we love you so, the place of strong and free, the province of Leyte. will always be part of us. The province east of the Visayas, for the glory that only do. The whole nation is proud of you. We make the world know, and let our spirit glow, that you're a place to be, the province of Leyte. We make the world know that we love you so, the place of strong and free, the province of Leyte. We make the world know, and let our spirit glow, that you're the place to be, the province of Leyte. We make the world know that we love you so, the place of strong and free, the province of Leyte. The province of Leyte.
Ladies and gentlemen,
nahuman na at Louis ang ika-81st program and commemoration Leyte Gulf landing. So, nakadingayan ang naging bisitahan Japan and kadan solidarity greetings kay Minister Funo Shu, Charge the Affairs and Embassy of the Japan. Siyempre, anniversary message na kata kanina, Honorable Carlos Jericho Pitilla, sa niya giningadayan ng gera, pininga pagtaga flood control. So, Didi, kadi Asik Domingo Carabonel Jr., itong Deputy Administrator for Operations and Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, IVAO. Ayan, taga-Australia, bisita Didi, naghatag mensahe, His Excellency Mark Innis Brown, Ambassador Extraordinary, Plenipotentiary Embassy of Australia. Major General Romeo Alamilio, retired General, National President and Veterans Federation of the Philippines. Siyempre nakadidira Reverend Monsignor Gilbert Orbina, naton tulong World War II veterans naging presente. Nakadigihapon ni Carlo Igot o nakadigihapon ni Carino C. Hakla, Brigadier General Joel Joseph Cabidis. Celebration simple pero manong danon sa hindi hiton ginhatag na mensahe iton mga ang guest of honor and of course ining celebration, commemoration panini inin may ada di naging bisita gihapon anaton mga opisyal han makibabang ahensya itong gobyerno na kadidi MacArthur Shrine and Monument. Ang mga ibang waray makakadi, may mga representative na nira mga sons and daughters, kay mga idara na ini, 103 anyos na, ano 29 anyos, but tatatagan gihapon nira, tag 20,000 ka pesos. Bisa ko diri taga Leyte, tatagan tag 20,000 ka pesos. Ngan kung baga na-mention man kanina mga nabubuhay pa nga mga World War II veteran, tikang ini Samar, tikang Leyte, ngan tikang gihapon Southern Leyte. Mention man kanina nato ng mga naging bisita nga mga World War II veteran, mga idara na intalon. Di kadama nagrepresentara anaton mga sons and daughters pero damo gihapon nakadi nga mga kuan inin era representative era Cornelio Gandia Dacono Halawan Eastern Samar nabubuhay pa ini Priscilla Rivera Ailon ang giwan Eastern Samar World War II veteran Lorito Lawson Yepes Santanawan World War II veteran Euteria Basas Kabakungan Hantanawan World War II veteran Gregoria Equipaje Badiham Brawen Leyte, World War II veteran Bonifacio Herbuso Ocaña Senior Han Abuyog, ngan didihi World War II veteran Sofilo Cañete Advincul Hampalo, Josefa Casas Pistijo Han Palompon Leyte, World War II veteran Paula Chocolim, ang Calbiga Samar, ngan World War II veteran Glycerio Abukay Avil Hamburungan City Eastern Samar, World War II veteran Eugenio Muli Maglinti, Han Macrohon, Southern Leyte, Chupilo Sanchez Nuevo, Han Ormoc City. So, mga kasangkayan, ti Louie, matulaton kabugusan nga report, ini nga commemoration ng 81 anyos nga Gulf landing. Ikaw po tadi hira Ayunes Omang, Leo Ladan, nga didi kang Florentino Tibay Globa. Balik na Broadcast Center, Jimmy Angay-Angay.
Aksyon! Radyo!
Ang bitayuhan naton na Operation Bulig yan ang adlaw hiton Lunes ika-20 habulan han Oktubre. Salamat madamo han panahon nga iyo igin paabot ha aton dida hiniyana nga aton pagkahampang. Keep safe everyone. Pudi dito naton mga katarubang engineering ako'y Louie Quebec. Maupay nga aga.